Okay. Tigress seems kind of bored because the highest place that she had access to has collapsed. Now, I want to talk a little bit about structural integrity and refurbishing things, and also repairing and extending the life of, let's say, seemingly disposable objects. Now, this is a FurHaven Tiger Tough, kind of like a joke in there, cat tree. Now, you know the most expensive one, and is from its design, I think it's directed or like marketed towards kittens. You know, if kittens could buy things. So what happened here is that we didn't pay anything for it. Something that we picked up out of the garbage. One of our friends, when we used to live in Bethesda, threw it out. And at first I thought that they just trashed it because they didn't want it anymore. But after looking at this, I think what happened is that the thing collapsed on them and then they took it out. So as you can see here, the columns, I guess, or the main supports of the cat tree are actually cardboard, and this is really strong cardboard and is spiraled down like any kind of like wrapping or like aluminum foil, cardboard tube, or even toilet paper for that matter, but just thicker, and it's held in place by those industrial size staples. The cap ends, the broken ones that you see there, see if I can show you one, are of this plastic material that is a bit bendy, so it can actually take the stresses of cats jumping on and off, the thing's own weight. But what happens, and this is something that happens a lot, and not just to this, but some of our older equipment, especially camping outdoor equipment in the Caribbean climate, is that the plastic pieces, they do something that one of my professors in architecture called polymerization. So I mean, it is already a polymer, but what happens is they crystallize and then they break. And I noticed that this was happening to the cat tree last night, and I tried to fix it to attach a little bit with more strength, so there was no more like wobbly play, and this wouldn't matter, but I guess it was unavoidable. So here's the thing, if you do want to extend the life of these until they finally destroy themselves, what I suggest is that you use PVC pipe. This is 2 inch. These things are 2 inches in diameter, for those of you who use imperial measurements, and the PVC pipe is actually a little bit wider. So what I do is I cut off a little piece of it, then cut it vertically and fold it on itself and use it kind of like as an insert. And just the friction of it, and PVC is kind of like bendy, and when you apply like a friction and just the pressure of it creates heat, and it kind of like opens it, and then by itself it can stay. But if you really want to make it strong, and as you can see here, the PVC joint ended up being stronger than the end cap, you add PVC glue to it, like the typical glue that the plumbers would use while repairing your pipes. So, and then you have a replacement. Then you can use the same cord, like wrap it around the, I think it's sisal, and then glue it. I didn't do that because I really didn't, my cats are really already too big for this, and they're not gonna stand here and scratch it. Like again, I said, this is more like a kitten, juvenile cat thing from the proportions. My cat's no longer fitting here, for example. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do with these to take advantage of the platforms is something that I did before when I had made my own cat tree, and is this mango tree that fell had like still big branches, and I took one of those branches and fashioned it to look like a smaller tree. And if you want to do that, it's really easy. You just sometimes you don't even have to peel the bark, but if you do want to give it a finish, you peel the bark off You sawn it different sides so it doesn't rot, and then you apply a finish that could be any kind of vegetable oil that you have, or you know, maybe some commercial food finish if you can stand the smell of it. But yeah, and these are going to be easily replaceable with, you know, pieces of wood that you just cut down and then you use a big wood screw. It's actually going to be more stable. Now this thing, and I guess kind of like a partial review of this FurHaven Tiger Tough cat tree, and it has a design flaw. And the base tripod is really stable, you know, tripods tend to be really stable, but it doesn't extend all the way up. So it becomes really wobbly front and back. So I would extend the tripod all the way up, and I have seen the latest version of this same model in their online shop, and surprise, they extended the tripod one level up. So I guess maybe they got some complaints for customers. But yeah, that's, I mean, if you want to make a modification out of it, I would extend the three legs of it, 3 columns.